welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Pernix. That is Pernix, and he's driving the T-62A on a standard battle on the mountain pass, T-62A being one of the many tier 10 medium tanks for the Russians. So Pernix is going to be heading straight to the center here. Speed of this tank does allow him to get into a good position. You can see he's up to about 50 kilometers an hour, so he should be able to get himself into a good sniping position to ambush any of the tanks that come across that way there. As you can see, there is a T-54 making his way, but he hasn't quite got the gun depression. Doesn't really want to have a shot at that E5 as he comes across. Just holds his fire. He doesn't really want to get spotted. He's just going to allow... There we go. Finally has his shot at that E5. I think he was waiting to see if that T-54 headed off down the way there. And if he did, then he would have been free to have a shot and not get spotted. But as it was, the T-54 decided to stick around, so Pernix was forced to take his shot and finally hit it. So this T-54 is doing a good job of staying alive and spotting for this area here. Got the support of his team across the way there. And as you can see, his allies have taken up a position just straight ahead of where Pernix is right now to fire at anybody over here. As you can see, taking a couple of hits. So just got to back off and try and get out of view range, which it looks like he's done successfully now. Probably going to wait till he fades back into the fog of war and then going to head off and take the long route around. Looks like he may be heading towards the center. Nope. He's going to cut left here, just taking a very long route around here. Excuse me, sorry about that. So we're going to be taking the long route around here, just so he didn't get spotted out by the guys across the way. And then he's going to be heading down this southern flank to offer some support to his 121 and the Bat Chat, as they are going to be considerably outnumbered, because it looks like most of the allied team have gone to the north. I just want to give you a quick apology if, again, my voice does sound like crap, and that's just because I'm still feeling pretty ill at the moment, but I'm going to do my best not to cough, sneeze, or generally make any horrible sounds while recording here. So going to be coming up and taking a position on this hill. The bush up here gives some good camouflage, and then that rock is a great place to hide behind, but it looks like nobody's really getting spotted out. So Pernix decides that even if he does take to the top of the hill, because nobody's spotted, he's not really going to be able to use that hill to his advantage. Bat Chat looking like he wants to go in on this one. So Pernix waits till he makes a move, and then he comes around to offer some support. Great thing about this T-62A is that reload speed of 5.5 seconds, so able to lay down some great consistent damage with this thing. Can he get the final shot on this E5 to finish him off? That one just going a little bit high. And I think he was looking there maybe to let the Bat Chat take that one out. In the end, it was the AC-48. And this T-54 that was proven to be so much of a nuisance early on is now going to come under fire. And as you can see, he decides to fire at the Bat Chat, and that's going to prove to his detriment as Pernix gets two great shots through the rear of the T-54 there. I'm not really sure who that E5 is raging at in the chat. I don't really see any kind of large injustice that happened to him earlier. Finds an E100. Does the standard thing that anybody does when they find an E100, which is load the premium rounds. Just because that thing is so ridiculously well armored, it's unbelievable. And that E100 deploying successful T-32, a blade of armor. And not taking any damage there. Finally gets a shot through that E100, and as you can see, the DPM of the cannon on this thing is fantastic. It might not have the best, the greatest alpha damage, but with only a 5.5 second reload, if you're able to get into a good spot, then you're able just to lay down huge amounts of damage very, very quickly. Probably wants to get another hit on this E100, but it looks like he is hidden successfully behind the rocks there. I don't think Pernix is really going to be able to get anything on him, as his body's in the side scraping position and he can't see enough of that turret, although he can see the T-54, but he gets taken out by that IS-3. Now going to switch back to standard ammunition. Going to come around this corner, and this is really the rat's nest of where everybody is. You can see on the mini-map there, it looks like a good 6 or 7 of the enemy tanks are all arrayed in this position. Finds an IS-3, gets a good hit on him, and the IS-3 looking like he's going to try and back off to safety, but this is going to be a huge mistake if he keeps up with it, because he's caught out in the middle of nowhere. To be honest, what he probably should have done is advance forward and try to get behind that rock in front of Pernix. As it is, he just gets caught out in the open, and with that 5.5 second reload, Pernix is able just to lay down over 1,000 points of damage on him as he tries to back off in vain and get into cover. So looking like he's thinking about heading back to the base, as they've got that E3 and that 704 pressuring the base there. Going to get a lovely hit on the side of this T-32, and I don't think that T-32 really knows where to go. He's got that 121 to one side of him, Pernix to the other side of him, and he just gets taken out pretty quickly there. So it looks like he's trying to make his mind up about whether he needs to go back to base and offer some support. But they do have that T-95 and that M103 in there. So to be honest, they should be pretty safe. Finds the E100 again. Gets a good hit through his underplate there. And you can see this is the Jagdpanzer E100 as well. But it looks like he's just making a beeline for this 121. And Pernix gets a lovely shot to take his track out. But he just uses his repair kit to fix that one. So instead, just going to stick some damage through him. It looks like that E100's actually got the E75's gun. Hasn't got the larger caliber cannon. And Pernix is able to take out that Jagdpanzer E100. And like I said, this cannon can really catch people off guard, as people think that you're going to have a more significant reload, but indeed you don't, and you're able just to troll them there. Looks like the 121 had his back there, as he offered support earlier. The 121 offered some support back and took out the E100. Going to try and get a hit on this Ferdinand as he tries to back off in vain. I think everybody saw the push of the Jagdpanzer E100 and the normal E100, and they looked like they were making a token effort to go and offer some support, but they were just a little bit too late there with the push. If they'd all gone together, they probably could have affected a little bit more change, and as it was, just a little bit too late there, and that 121 takes out the Ferdinand. And that is pretty much GG and the victory now. The E5 is still raging in the chat from earlier for some reason, really not sure what it is he's whinging about. Pernix loads up the high explosive ammunition as he wants to take out this Object 261 in a single hit. But it looks like the Object 261 isn't in and around base. Was thinking about going for the base capture there, but the Object 261 shows up on the minimap, and everybody's just going to close in for the kill now. See the 121 steaming his way in, but Pernix is doing the smart thing of taking the wider route around, and he gets the shot and gets the kill, and that is a well-deserved 5th kill for Pernix. So absolutely awesome replay there from you, doing almost 5,200 points of damage, picking himself up 5 kills. Not quite a Top Gun medal, which is a little bit of a shame, but still proving to be a force to be reckoned with for his team. So awesome replay. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Armin. That's Armin, and he's driving the Batchat on a standard battle on Ruinberg. Batchat being a tier 10 medium tank for the French. So I thought I'd bring you a couple of top of the tier replays today, both in mediums. Obviously we had the T-62A earlier, and now the Batchat. Both these tanks very, very good in their own regards. This thing very quick, very maneuverable, has a fantastic cannon on it with 5 rounds in that auto-loader with a good amount of alpha damage and penetration. As you can see, Armin loaded right around the time that he arrives in his intended destination, which is right here in the centre of the map. Going to see if he can spot anybody out, but it looks like most of the enemy team must have been going for the centre there, for the city. Did get spotted out by somebody, so just going to drop back. Looks like this FV may have seen him, so going to have a shot at him. Takes a hit from somebody there, so decides just to run the heck away. This thing only has 1800 hit points and pretty much doesn't have any armor to speak of. Maybe very nicely sloped at the front there, but it doesn't matter how much you slope paper, it's still going to get penetrated by pretty much everything. So Armin deciding just to leave the hill and leave the right hand flank to its own devices. They've got an object over there guarding that off, so it's probably going to be okay. Considering he didn't spot anybody over there, there's probably going to be nobody heading to that location. So we're going to be heading to the city now. Taking it a little bit slow because he was just reloading his cannon while on the way here. You can see they've got a couple more tank destroyers in and around the spawn area. I'm not sure what they're hoping to achieve, considering that Armin didn't spot anybody coming along this way. Maybe their guns would be put to much better use in the city, because as we can see by the mini-map, that is pretty much where all of the enemy is. Almost every single person spotted in that city there. So Armin going to be heading back to the center. I'm going to see if he can pick somebody out. Does get a hit on this. No, he doesn't actually miss the Object 704. That one didn't, though. Aiming time on this cannon is around about the same as the loading time. So able to put down good amounts of sustained damage. And now going to reload this cannon and just sit in position. If he'd been spotted, he probably would have dropped back and headed off somewhere else while reloading the cannon, but because nobody really spotted him out, he's just going to sit here, wait for the cannon to reload, and then going to relocate ever so slightly, just because nobody else has really been spotted in the town here. Ah, there we go, gets a little bit closer and everyone starts popping up. I'm going to wait for his gun to aim fully. Gets a hit on that T-57, I'm almost certain, but he fades into the fog of war, so not really 100% sure how much damage that one did. Does now spot an AMX 1375 on that right-hand flank, just as the tank destroyers decide to move. So Armin going to go and hunt him down. 1375 on full hit points, that's 900, but he's got 3 shots in the chamber, so that's going to be more than enough damage to take him out. Will take some damage in return, because like I said, the Batchat not got the greatest armor in the world, so the 1375 is going to find it easy to penetrate him. As you see, he came in with the ram there, just in case, doing a little bit extra damage, just so he can take him out with 2 shots rather than 3. And with the scout dealt with, that's going to be pretty much everybody else in the city. So it's time to head back over there while he's reloading this cannon and see if he can affect some change in the city here. Comes along and does find quite a large rat's nest of enemy tanks here. Takes out the 5100 quickly. Now he's going to have to try and get a hit on this FV. Didn't decide to drop back because he could take 1 hit. And he took that 1 hit, took out 2 tanks. And now he's going to have to sit back here and reload that cannon. But it looks like the enemy tanks are more worried about pushing around and trying to take out that IS-3 rather than pushing down on this location. And, that's going to allow Armin just the time that he needs to reload this gun. As you can see, losing quite a bit at the moment at 8 kills to 10. I think that ISU-152 came up with a sudden equalization there, as it was 10 kills to 7 a second ago. Enemy artillery even pushed on into the city here. I think they think this one's probably a foregone conclusion, just with the amount of tier 10s that they've got left compared to the allies. Actually, only got the same amount of tier 10s left, so I'm absolutely lying to you. Armin gonna head around here. He has got his cannon reloaded. Looks like this Rheinmetall is focusing on the object here, so if he gets lucky, Armin should be able to take him out before he gets away. 1 more hit, and that is kill number 5. Got to be careful here as this Waffenträger E100 is looming, but he's looking in the wrong direction, and that's kill number 6. So Armin doing a great job of trying to equalize the score here. Pulled it back to 12 kills to 11, but they did lose that ISU-152. It looks like the Batchat artillery is just sick of playing in artillery mode and just wants to go tank destroyer mode. Armin gets spotted out here by this T-32, and he's got to be careful as a few hits from that T-32 is going to be enough to take him out, especially with his paper-thin and rear armor pointed towards him. But going to be ignoring him here as he wants to go and try and defend his T-92 against the Batchat. But I think the Batchat has the element of surprise, comes in for the ram. And then there we go, takes out the T-92. But now Armin is here with his cannon loaded, and he's ready to even up the score. not quite able to get a shot on this Batchat artillery as he takes cover behind the corpse of the T-92 here. Got to be careful as the Batchat could derp him in the face as he comes around to try and take him out. He's pointed directly at the corpse, so he's able just to fake around the side of him, and he's going to be able to take him out no problem whatsoever and pick up kill number 7. Now the score is all even at 13-13. Himself and an Object 704 versus a pretty much dead E75 and a T-32. So unless this E75 is one of the greatest E75 drivers of all time, should be able to take them out no problem whatsoever. Just one good hit. Nope, hits the gun barrel of the fallen tank there. So repositions ever so slightly to get the killing shot. Object 704's got to be careful here. I think he's backed off into a little alcove there. And T-32 gets a good hit on him. T-32 is a very good tank, but the Object 704 just says, nope, not today, son, and he finishes him off. And that is GG and the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there from Armin, picking himself up 8 kills. And again, almost 5,200 points of damage. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, found it useful, informative, you liked it, or you learned something, then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. And leave me a like and a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought of the 2 replays. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.